What's going on, everyone? Let's talk about the monstrosity of what Tesla's earnings were. Now, again, we're not going to get into the exact numbers on the revenue, the expectations, so forth and so forth. What we're going to simply look at here is the technicals of the actual chart. Going back to yesterday, we had a nice run up into 299.29. A lot of 300, 320, 330 calls were coming in pretty much essentially all week on these earnings expectations. So one thing that I do kind of want to point out to everyone is that that was a major psychological level on Tesla, was that $300 area. If you notice here on the 1 hour time frame, it's also the top supply here of our linear regression channel. So we came up to it, tested it almost to a T, and then started to fade off into the close. We had a little bit of a mixed bag here where Tesla went up, it came down, and it was kind of trading in the middle of the range yesterday. But then after the conference call, after Elon and the gang started to talk, we just slowly started to continue to fade into this 200-day moving average. Now, what are we looking at? Where do we set today? If we kind of look at what we did in the pre-market and right off the open, we had an initial flush. Okay, we had an initial flush down to our lower linear regression. Okay, this is very significant. It's very important. If we kind of look at the absolute lows from yesterday, right, it was at 275.83. Now if that area was to get confirmed, we had initial potential down about $1 to around 274. So one thing that I do want to point out here is, even though we were very extended, very market was already pushing Tesla's price down, there was a little bit of a trade here if now it would have been with assumed higher risk just due to the extent of the down move already. But if we were to start to able to kind of clean up this 275 and start to break down the 274s, you had potential. And once we had potential below this lower channel, it was essentially just a free fall. If you kind of look at the confirmation here below that 274.5, first, the second hour candle that actually really confirmed that took us all the way down to 269. So, we had a good 3-4, almost 4.5 points worth of downwards move here. Now, I did play Tesla multiple times today, in and out for some baby scalps. Wasn't looking for too much. A point here, see if I can snag a point there. We obviously put in a new low that came all the way down to 266. So anyone who was kind of like big brass, and kind of just got in short and kind of just held that potential, you really got paid. And I hope you took some profits off. That's not to say that Tesla doesn't go lower heading into next week, but you always want to take profits off, okay? Always want to take profits off. Here's my analysis and my opinion. What I can see happening here is this 264 that we came in and put a low on. This could be a short-term bottom for a potential little dead cat bounce. Now, if we were looking at a potential dead cat bounce from the initial 300 drop here, right? We get this big extravagant drop. I would look for a 40 to 50% retracement, and just using my eyes here, no needing to pull out any type of fib or anything like that and not get crazy. Let my eyes just kind of do the talking here. I could see a potential bounce into the 270s all the way up to the mid 280s. Okay, so we could look at maybe a 10 to 12, 15 point bounce before some type of consolidation, and then the next down move. That's something that I would be cautious of and looking towards, especially if you're a short-term trader and you're looking for one of these bounces here. Now, if you are looking for the bounce here, right now would be a hell of a time to get in, okay? Hell of a time to get in now, and you want to use 264 as your stop. Any hour candle close below 264, you just get the hell out of the trade. You're going to give yourself a 2-point risk here, but we're potentially playing for a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 point potential dead cat bounce. Make sure you're locking in profits on the way up. Don't be a dummy here. Don't think that you're a hero and you caught the absolute bottom on this move just because you make 3, 4, 5 points here, because it could get rejected at any time and come back down. So this is just a pure scalp play. This is just a pure anticipation of a dead cat bounce play here. We've got a pretty good low wick here where buyers are starting to step in off the 264s. Definitely something that I want you guys to keep in mind. Now, if we do look at the bigger overall potential here on Tesla, your bigger trade is going to come on a nice bounce right? So if we do get the potential dead cat bounce, get rejected somewhere in the 270s, even maybe potentially closer to 280, and then we get the washout through 264, that's a big play there because we've got room down all the way close to around 250, and that exact price is around 243, right? So I would play it back down into this range if we do get a little bit of a dead cat bounce and then we start to lose and confirm 264.18. That's their next biggest trade that you want to look for on Tesla. But again, you know, does this do anything for the stock? Is the stock market going all the way back down to zero? Again, I don't think so. I wouldn't let everyone on social media try to convince you that the market is going to absolutely implode. But again, let's get through earnings season. Big earnings has started to kick off already with the Netflix kind of destruction of that price, and then Tesla's obviously destruction, down 25.8% on the day here. But again, if you look at where we came from just in a matter of a couple of months, I mean, our last breakout on Tesla was sitting at 192. So, you know, from 192 to 300, that was a fantastic move. If you're looking, and I'm going to be completely honest, if you were looking going into earnings, even within the last week, to barely start your long position on Tesla, you are late to the party. You've got a bigger problem. And I would love for you guys to come in Evolution Traders and start to learn how to do this thing that we call trading, you know, and get a better picture. Because if you're barely starting, you know, to catch wind and catch wave of Tesla pushing in the 290s or 300s, you are way late to the party. And there's some things that you need to learn. So visit evolutiontraders.com, become a lifetime member, get access to the chat room, start, you know, picking everyone's brains, and let's start making some money together. Until next time, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Still getting over this sinus infection. So again, you know, sorry for the videos being a little bit lower energy or a little bit lower volume, or, you know, not as many videos as normal, but, you know, very, very difficult to kind of like get out these talking head videos where I just sit here and kind of just go over my thoughts because, you know, I got a little bit of congestion, still a little bit of a cough. So, you know, makes it a little bit difficult to kind of get on my rants. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. I'll see you guys all on the next one.